Welcome back, gents, to the worst gun tuber video on YouTube. As you can see, we're working on our Minuteman Mark I this time around, and we had some issues with it. Well, this bitch is not cooperating. Alright, got. But now I'm hoping that they're fixed. Let's take a shot. So she seems to be extracting pretty good. It's throwing the rounds off really good. So going over our kit, I have the Brooklyn Armed Forces from Sportsman's Guide. It's a pretty cool jacket coat here, kind of an inner layer. It's not going to be much against wind, but it will keep you warm in these okay months. So, of course, we got our Minuteman Mark I, about to be Mod 1. So, I'm also running the Nezumi Chestrig from Lynchpin Supply. I think they got a few of these left. They sell them at a very reasonable price. I think right now they're around 60 bucks. Normal price is about 80. For what this is, you can pack in 2 AR mags or 2 AK mags. You could really stuff USG mags 3 per pouch. So as you can see, this pouch is big enough right here that I've got my Polymer 80 Glock build with a lot on here. So we have it stuffed in this mag. Then we're using a radio pouch here with this one. And then I don't have any medical on this one, but we have just some spare Glock mags here. And then we have some of my 20 rounders here. So all in all, this is a fantastic chest rig that, you know, you have 4 main pouches here and then 2 small pouches. Got a little admin flap there to put maps and things like that in. Got a bag to pick up my rounds. So yeah, and then sporting the OCP camo by the US Army, and with just some Columbia hiking boots. I love running these. These are very well seasoned by me. I run these anytime I'm doing hiking, just for quick movement. They almost wear like a tennis shoe. So yeah. So here we are checking our Minuteman Mark I here after the malfunctions that we had. As you can see, I have the bolt carrier group out, and just as I suspected, we had a failure to eject issue. Now, with these cheaper bolt carrier groups and barrels, especially from Bear Creek Arsenal, PSA, you know, Delta Team Tactical, any of them that you get, you're going to run into an overgassing issue. And I was thinking that this may have came from an overgassing issue, and in the past I've had issues. So this is our bolt carrier group. This is the new one out of our Minuteman Mark II. This is a Roscoe. This hasn't even been fired yet, hasn't even been lubed up yet. And I want to show it here for reference. Something I'll check, which this gun I bought in 2015, the upper, and the staking on the gas keys are really good, and you can see it's not loose, it's tight as a drum. And the staking here on the Roscoe, which is the new process where it more squeezes versus just a punch across. So the staking here is obviously good. This came quality control tested, and you can see like this BCG, it's got some wear and tear to it. We're coming up maybe a little over 5,000 rounds on our Minuteman Mark 1. So yeah, we're probably around 5,000 rounds on this barrel and this upper receiver. And I want to show you here. So this is a brand new BCG, and you can see, let's see if I can get it to focus. Our extractor is tight. And this is usually what fails, guys. This is usually what fails on your BCGs. If it ain't being overgassed, knocking your gas key loose, it's your extractor. And this thing, like, let me see if I can find something here just to kind of show you. We use one of our handy dandy flatheads, so check this out. That should not move that easy. That should not. Check this one out. Hardly no play at all. Nothing. So this one right here, that is extremely soft. So let's break this bolt down a little further, and I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do to rectify this issue without having to buy a new bolt. That's good. 220 round mags, and yeah, so this is one I bought from Academy Sports that I thought was a 30 rounder, but it's a freaking 20 rounder that's a 30 rounder. Apparently they don't sell 30 rounders anymore, even though they're free to do so. So they have this garbage now that they sell. So I'm running those as training mags because I don't want to have a freaking something that looks like a 30 rounder that only has 20 rounds. So it's stupid. So those are marked for training rounds. Like I said, garbage that a 2A company will turn on its freaking base, turn on its user base, because the people that don't want 30 round mags are not going to buy guns like this, but yet here they are doing that. So yeah, I'm calling you out, Academy Sports. You need to go with your user base, people like me that buy your magazines, that buy your guns. Either way, ran over, didn't mean to get in that tangent, but yeah, if I'm going to run 20 round mags, I'm going to run the old school GI mags or the PMag 20s that actually I can look at them and identify that they're 20 rounders. So as you can see here, our bolt is pretty dirty. We got some crust here. Now you want to be careful cleaning this, scraping this, because you can lose tolerances. You can make your tolerances loose and your gun will essentially have a gas leak. And in here is usually like a chrome coating, polished coating, and it's dirty. I mean, it's probably been 1,000 rounds since I really got in and cleaned this bad boy. So I'm gonna clean it before I do anything, but you can even see a little further here, like this thing, that's by finger. Look how loose that is. So what we're gonna do is we are going to do our BCM Bravo Company Extractor Spring upgrade kit. So it's gonna have an O-ring, a new harder tension screw, and then the little retainer deal that it sits in that pops up into that little guy. So we're gonna clean this and break it down and upgrade it with this, and we should have a way tighter extractor. Now I'm hoping that there's not enough wear there on the extractor to warrant a full SOP mod bolt upgrade, but if we have to do it, we will. I want to say this was Carpenter 158 because it's older. It's an older setup. It's MPI, I know that much. She's been through it, but a lot of times, just like I said, your bolt is where it's gonna fail, your extractor and whatnot. It's 9 times out of 10 when you have a failure in an AR-15 as far as hard use, it's this guy. And more often than not, it's this here. So having a few of these, you can get like 3 of these kits for 10 bucks, something like that, 11 bucks. It's good to have these just in the drawer. If you're gonna have multiple ARs, or even if you just have one Minuteman kit, it's good to have this. Good to go ahead and buy just a good Carpenter 158 bolt to have, and maybe go ahead and do the upgrade on this so you can keep it somewhere in your kit. And if your gun goes down, you can swap it out fairly quickly and have a good running gun. So just food, food for thought. So we got this far into it, and when I was taking our extractor off, I noticed that the pin that holds the extractor in was broken. So that's our problem. That's why it was so loose. So I borrowed from another 10.5 that I have here, and we'll feature this one later date. So I borrowed the pin, here's the way it's supposed to look, out of its BCG for now. And this is the clean one. I love this stuff. Now you have to oil it afterwards, but if you got a gun that's caked up, this stuff is awesome. Just be aware that if you have a special coating, like it's gonna kind of look a little meh after it's cleaned. It's some pretty serious stuff, and a little bit goes a long way. But we'll oil this guy up and she'll be ready to rock and roll as new. But we can continue on with our upgrade here because we have a full pin to go in that extractor. So definitely be aware, you're gonna need maybe to buy some more of these if you're gonna run these cheaper ARs. And I'm not, like, from what I've heard, there's only 3 companies that make BCGs, and this is probably one of them. I don't know which one, probably Toolcraft if I had to guess. And these were non-O-ringed. So if you're gonna buy a cheaper AR, a good way to bulletproof it, go ahead and get this. Go ahead and get the SOP mod. It's 30 bucks for it, and buy a couple of these and get a few of these. Maybe one of these like we talked about, and upgrade. Just upgrade your kit. That's gonna enhance the reliability, and you're gonna be able to run steel a hell of a lot better. So let's get it put back together. So here we have our kit. We're gonna find the water point of our spring. It's hard doing this with gloves on. So that in. It's definitely the water part of our spring is here. Drop this little guy in it. Like I said, doing this with gloves is a pain in the dick. So yeah, don't drop this little guy like I did using gloves, because it'll take you forever to find it. So what we'll do here is I can actually fill the wider end opening, which is this. Let's see. Definitely that side. Put our little insert there, so it's sitting flush. Now we're going to put it in that indentation there, and it should click into place. But it's clicked in, and so it'll look like that. We'll gently slide our O-ring on. So now we have our O-ring. It's all on there. And so now we're just going to reassemble our bolt. Just like that. And I can already tell it is a lot stiffer than what it was. Get our pin back in there. It's just a little bit of a bear. There we go. If you have a little trouble like I did, I'll go ahead and tell you. What I did is I wrapped one of these rags tightly around this and put it in my bench vise and just squeezed it just enough to take one of my punches and just ease it through there. And you just want to get it even. You want to get it even there so it will slide through the BCG, the main carrier for the bolt. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a cloth and just lightly lube this guy up and make sure that your gas rings here, if I can get this thing to focus, make sure your gas rings are staggered. See how these are not? Make sure it's staggered, and then I'll show you how to test it to make sure you're not getting any leak down or anything like that. Yeah, you'll make sure your bolt is all the way out. You'll set it down like so. And as you can see, we're not moving. That'll let you know if your gas rings are stacked, if you need to fix them or whatnot, you're good to go. And another way to tell is like this. You would take your cam pin out, put your bolt in. I can't really do it with this one right now because the pin's out of it. But you would put it there and just hold it over and see if your bolt will just fall right out. If it stays in, you know, without your little cam pin there, then you're good to go. Your rings are gonna be good. But if it's not wanting to hold under this, I would go ahead and have rings. It's good to have this stuff on hand. It's good to have maybe a fresh bolt, maybe a fresh extractor, definitely an extractor pin, definitely one of the BCM kits, and then maybe some gas rings just to have on hand. They're very cheap. You know, you're probably, bolt and all, you're gonna be under $100 depending on what you go with. It's very cheap. And it's good insurance just to have, you know, especially if you only have 1 or 2 rifles. It's good insurance to have. And so let's take her to the range and see how she does now. So we're going to test her out here. We got another test fire. Yeah, I'm really digging the ejection pattern. Everything's rolling on pretty good. So I'm feeling like she's fixed. She's ready for the next upgrades that I'm going to do. I'm ecstatic to share with you guys what's going to happen with this rifle. We're going to do some upgrades, but we're going to make this gun even better shooter, less recoil for it, especially having glass on it. We're going to even upgrade the glass and maybe even start with a 2-stage trigger. She is clear, but she's lubed up, running good, 100 rounds, no problem. That's all I have time for you here today, guys, but I see a lot of you out there, you get burnt out. Get off the social media, get out here, touch grass, touch the ground, do some cool shit, get those endorphins going. Stop doing it via social media, please. That's what's disturbing all of us. That's why we're all getting all down in the dumps, and this is the time of the year for it. So please get out and do some cool shit. I've got several of your kit videos. I've got to get the videos made and get them out there on the channel and rep you out. Do some cool shit and send it to me, and I will talk about it with you. I will make a video talking about it. Get out there, do some cool shit, do like we're about to do. We're about to go hit up the gym, burn white fucking hot, and that's all I got for you. Hit up the gym. So you know the drill. Resistance to tyranny is obedience to God.